Hello, everyone. This is Data Community United for Ukraine, and as usual, we are testing our sound. So if you can hear us, just let us know in the chat in Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So let us know that you can hear us.
YouTube is okay?
Yep, everything works, looks like. So hello, everyone again. This is Bogdan Moheros. Today we have Ricardo Cabral, Dejan Sarka, Andrea Melancia, and of course, we have Leila, who is our speaker today. So thank you for coming today. What we have here today is the last day of the conference marathon with fundraising for Ukrainian Marine units for a copter that is the some kind of additional eyes for our military, so they can see the enemy on our land, and it helps us to helps them to fight better. And we hope that your support helps our military, our soldiers, our Marines to come back alive, to come back to their families safe when the war is over. So Data Community United for Ukraine is the 3 weeks conference marathon. We have 9 amazing speakers all over the world. We are talking about business intelligence, about Power BI, data science, clouds, and a lot of other interesting things, and not technical only. So as you already know, we are fundraising for our marine units. We are fundraising for a copter, DJI Mavic 3, that costs about $3,600. And for now, we had a chance to collect almost the half of the price. So in the description of the video, whether it is YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, you can see the donation link, and you can also see the link to the donation progress. So you can see how much funds we have already collected. You can very easily send your donation, and all donations are going directly into the one of the biggest Ukrainian charity foundation, which is called Come Back Alive. In Ukrainian, we say "Повернись живим." So all donations are going directly to them, so without any bridges, so like that. And besides that, you can watch us on different platforms, and but the best way is the YouTube, where you can press the notify button. You can subscribe to the channel. So if we publish any new streams, you can be immediately notified about that. So if you press notify me button before the stream, or at the first second of the stream, you get the notification, then the stream started. So it's very easily. And today we have our, by the way, in the description of the YouTube event, you can see the link to register at Eventbrite platform. So if you register there, you have a chance to win some nice gifts from, I will not tell you from who, but nice prices. So it will be a raffling session. So you'll see it later. So register. Today we have Leila, who is the first Microsoft AI MVP in New Zealand and Australia. She has a, let me show you. Yeah, she has a PhD in information system from the University of Auckland. She is a co-director and data scientist in Radacat company. I guess everyone who is working with Power BI have heard about Radha Kat, and she is a co-organizer at many conferences and user groups. There is a huge list, so I decided not to read them all. So, but it's very interesting. She has over than 10 years of experience working with databases and software systems. She's also an AI and data platform Microsoft MVP. Leila is an active technical Microsoft AI blogger of course, Radha Kat. Leila, thank you for coming today. What are we talking about?
Thanks so much. It's great to be part of this community, and thanks so much to include me in this conference. I'm really proud to be be speaking over here. So today I'm going to talk about some AI features in Power BI. So we are going to see some things from visualization to something code, and we see different variety options that we have over there.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you. So should I share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Thank you. Okay. Let me move here. So can you see my screen?
Looks good.
Yes.
Thank you. So thanks so much for the introduction. Yes, as Bohdan said, that's yeah, I'm in these fields for a long time. I was in the data, and then gradually I moved to AI part. So I'm at this time I actually do the both, so data and AI, and also I really involved in the community, and that's really helped me to learn from other people and also give back to them. So I really love this community about organizing the event or even part of it and speaking. So yeah, I'm kind of run with Rezared. We run the Radha Kat. So you all of the things that I'm talking, you can find most of them you can find in our channel. Also, I'm really love I'm playing piano. I love travel, and I have 2 big dogs, and I'm fan of Lord of the Rings. So if you come to New Zealand, I really recommend that actually visit that area. So let's start with the AI features that we have in Power BI. This is some images that actually I can provide. So as you can see, first, we have some features that they are mainly about visualization. We have some AI features that they are regarding some specific visual that designed for that, like key influencer, decomposition tree, and narrative visual. Beside them, also in the visualization, we have some basic charts that actually support AI features, like line chart and also scatter chart. That line chart has some time series, and also scatter chart has some clustering features. It's not the advanced one, but still you can use them. The other category that we have is about Power Query AI features. So not in the visualization, but behind the scene in the Power Query editor, we have lots of features that help us to do that, from some GUI in Power Query, from some features like get add column by example, to some AI features that be able to call the API from AI to write actual code in R and Python. And of course, beside that, because we have Power Query, and if you attend the Chris web session, he has lots of interesting blog posts about calling the API. I use one of them to actually call the Azure ML, or you can call the cognitive services through that. So there's actually lots of variety of things, from coding to no coding features that we have in Power BI. So I will start. This is before I'm going to that, this is a bit old. I should kind of update that one, this picture. But as you can see, for different people with a different job title, from analyst to business intelligence developer to data scientist, we have different features that we have, from visualization to Power Query, and of course, inside data flow. R and Python visual, for example, can be used by data scientists, people who already have the code, they know how to code in R and Python, so they can bring their code over here, or even they can use a web service out of Power Query, like in Azure ML or in Databricks, and then call it over here, or any other platform that they can create a web service and they can call it here. For the analyst people, differently, we have some of the visual that I'm going to talk about them today, and same for the business intelligence developer. So there are variety of the things over there. So first of all, I'm starting with the easy one, that is AI visual features. So I'm going to open my Power BI desktop and to get the data, just copy my data, and it's I think it's an Excel file. Let me check. CSV file. So I'm going to get my CSV file. That's the data that I'm going to work is actually it's a data about customer feedback. That means that we have a customer that they are kind of, we have their ID, we have some information about them, and we know that they rank us high or low. We are going to see that how we can analyze this data using some visual inside our BI desktop, using some AI visual over here. So so this data, it has some, for example, is customer back to us, how many years they are with us, some information about that, for example, which type of organization they are working. So if you look at here, which country they are, which continent, how many tickets they already raised, we are going to see that which of these factors, like their company size, their role in organization, the number of the tickets, the number of the years they are with us, impact on their rating that actually rate us high and low. So we can do this analysis by lots of correlation analysis using R and Python, but not this time. We are going to use a visual that's the name is Key Influencer visual, and we are going to see that how it's work. So Key Influencer visual is a combination of different algorithms. So behind the scene, it uses regression and also decision tree to extract some of the rules to find out how specific attributes can impact on one. So we are going to analyze the rating. So for the analyze, I use rating. And we are going to see that some factors like role of the people in organization, number of the years they are in the organization, like tenure, also company size, and of course the ticket counts. How does it actually impact the rating over there? So I just bring the charts a bit here and make it bigger. So as you can see, I just a bit zoom. So what influenced the rating to be high or low? So for example, if I have two value in that column, that the rating high or low. If I have 3 or 4 is shown over here. And Power BI is understand that's a categorical decision making. So if I go to the format of this visual, you can see that the analyst type is a categorical, because it's a kind of the category high or low. But if I have a numeric value, it actually shows as a continuous. So it's kind of, we call it classification. If I have a numerical value, it's going to the mostly regression analysis. So as you can see here, what is happen here, it's find what attribute has most impact on the rating. So the first one is ticket count. So if I hover my mouse on there here, let me hover, is provide a message for me. It doesn't show when I zoom in. I will read it out, that as ticket count decrease, the chance of the rating to be high also, if the ticket count decrease, I mean, it's going down, the chance of the rating to be high is also increased, which makes sense. People who are most satisfied about our product, so definitely they have issue less tickets for that kind of matter. So, and it's provide kind of some kind of the linear chart for us. So as you can see here, again, I zoom it so you can see that the rating is high. So as you can see, when the chance of the rating is high, is actually has a vice versa relationship to the ticket count. So as the number of the ticket count, the chance of the people to rate the company to be very good and high is decreased. So it's actually showing that. The second one is tenure. Tenure is how many months these people are with us, these customers. One of the interesting thing about this chart is that you can see a category over here. So for example, it's provide a bins of data, for example, 0 or less months, between 0 to 20 months, 20 months to 58 months, and then more. But in the actual data, if I check the tenure, you can see that here, you can see that my data is not beans. There is no beans of the data over here. So what's up? What's happened over there? So the key influencer visual first going to find a linear relationship between the chance of the rating to be high and the tenure. If it couldn't find a relationship between that, it's going to change the algorithm and it's going to create some bins. So I didn't create these bins of the data. Behind the scene, the algorithm, because it couldn't find the proper relationship, is actually find that. And of course, the another one is role in the organization and also the company size. They have less impact on that. I think the most impact is the ticket counts. You can change it to analyze the how much actually rating, what influence on the rating be low, because they are not the same thing. In this scenario, it's the same thing. Ticket count has impact on both, but not in all scenarios can impact. So you should have a separate analysis for that one. So as you can see, again, the ticket counts, and in the second steps, tenure has impact. So here you can find the list of the attribute and the rules that actually shows you how this impact on that. One of the interesting things that we have over here, if you go to the analytics tab on the format of the visual, we have the option count. What is mean? I'm just going to turn it on to show you what is that. When I'm turning it on, you see that there is a border happen. There's a kind of the circle border appear around each of that, and it has different size. As you can see, for the first one, when we want to find what influence the rating to be low, the ticket counts, yes, has highest impact, but also it has is include lower number of the data. So it's just in this rule, just support 11% of our data, which is very low. But if you look at, for example, on the role of organization, if you look at here, it supports about 67% of the data. So for most of us, one of the rules, one of the influencer is important when it's cover more most of our data. I'm going to analyze the high one. So as you can see, for the when we are going to analyze what influence to be high, if I hover my mouse, you can see 88% of the data was impacted by ticket counts going down. So that's a really good rule. I mean, it's cover most of my data, it has higher impact, so I can rely on that. For the second one is tenure. Tenure has covered kind of even more rows of the data. I think it's covered more than 88%, a bit more, but you see that it just impact 1.18, so it's not as 4.1. one. So here now I have a confidence to say, okay, ticket count has highest influence on the people rating. So this is the actually example of the key influencer visual. So I'm not going to talk about the decomposition because it's the same scenario from each of them because we have a lot of time. So I'm going to cover the next one. So this is about we call these visuals, that's the analytics visual. Analytics visual, when you use them, you can see that they have a lamp beside them. So in that scenario, you understand that they are actually a pre-built one. So now I'm going to actually look at the other visual that we have, that they are not a specific AI visual. So I'm going to get some data from AdventureWorks. And I'm going to look at the, maybe I can use let me use the same things that I have. So I'm going to create smaller. So I'm going to see the relationship between the tenure and ticket count, for example, for each customer ID. So I'm going to kind of find that maybe, yeah. Let me bring that data set. Is much better than this one. It's a very linear data set. So I prefer to bring that one. Sorry, just give me a second. So I'm going to get some data from AdventureWorks. So I'm going to get the data from FAQ internet sales. Like reseller sales, FAQ internet sales. And of course, the dimension product and dimension date. Load the data. At the same time, let's see that if I can bring the just waiting to load. Just going to create a relationship between them. So, yep, I'm just going to create a simple relationship based on the in date. Okay, so date alternate key and the date key, yep. So sorry, date key and order date key. I'm just going to connect them together. And also same for the other one. Okay, so let me kind of show us from here. I prefer to show it over here. Let me kind of showing it over here. Yeah, that's easier. Till create that one. I'm just going to. Okay, so this is a kind of the scatter chart that I have. So I'm going to show the sales amount based on reseller and sales amount from the internet. So if you use the scatter chart, so this is showing the data about selling the bike that shows the scatter charts, the relationship between them. If you click over here, you see that we have automatically find cluster. So behind the scene is going to use a simple algorithm named k-mean clustering to actually find a different cluster for that one. So if you use it to number of the cluster to be auto, so it's use some algorithm like elbow and the other chart to find out how many how many clusters should be there, or you can specify the number of the cluster yourself. So when you're doing that, it's going to run the simple k-mean algorithm behind the scene, and it's going to show you the the clusters of here. So that's one of the very simple visual that we have over there. So as you can see, so it's going to show me the cluster. I can copy and paste this one and make it as a table visual. So even in a table visual, you can able to see that each product belongs to which cluster. Again, it's a very simple clustering algorithm behind the scene, but it's actually help you to see the cluster analysis. Another one that actually is really interesting one, actually I can sense, I'm just going to create a new one, is the line chart. So I'm going to actually show you also the line chart over here. Let me see if I have it already here, so I don't, do that analysis on that. So here is an example of the simple data that we have for the line chart. So in the line chart, if you go to the analytics tab, you can see we have two AI features over here. One is the forecast, that is time series. Another one is find anomalies. If I turn on one of them, the other one is deactivated. So when I turn on the one, so I'm able to actually specify how many data point I want to see that. So this is the data. Let me bring a kind of the proper date dimension over here, so we can see that one. So just remove it here. So, and I'm back to the analytics. And you can specify that in which data point you are going to show your data based on the years, next 10 years, or you can, because my data is based on quarter, I believe. So I'm going to predict the next 10 quarters over here. So it actually shows you through that one, and you can actually go through that one and see the data over here, that how is change. So this is another one that actually use that one. You can specify the percentage of that. If I change it to the 5, and I'm specify that, for example, it should be quarter. So it's become a bit different. And I want to be that actually the confidence level, that is actually that gray area, I can change it. For example, I can make it smaller to 75%, or I can change it to be 99%, that actually increase the one. One of the problem of that is that you couldn't extract the data for that one. So here, as you can see on the chart. So from here, for example, I can see that what is the actual one, what is the forecast, and what is the upper bound and lower bound. Again, this is a very simple kind of forecast that we have over here. We have much more algorithm to doing that. I'm sure Dion has lots of idea. He's here, so he's the kind of the master of the AI, so he can provide much more things about that. I have some, let me share with you. I have a series of the time series, so talking about the how to actually write time series inside there. So I can show you, let me, that you can actually write the algorithm for the doing the time series inside Power BI. So you can can share the link over here. So there are about how we can actually do more analytics with writing code over there. You can also check that one. So this is about the visuals that we have. Yes, exactly, Diane. Yeah, from the graph, it's yeah, exponential moving average. That's kind of a bit kind of very simple. It's not using ARIMA or the other. So if, as Diane mentioned, if you want to kind of have more things, you need to write some codes over there. So this is about the AI visuals that we have. Now I'm going to move to the Power Query. So we are going to the Power Query, and over there we are going to see what features we have over there. So one of the features that actually we have over there, just save. Okay, just going to my okay, so I'm going to Power Query to load some data. So, oh, thank you. So I'm going to actually to get some other data over here. So I'm going to bring two type of the data first of all. So one of them is actually the data set I get from IMDb website. You see that sometimes you get some data like in this format, and you want to actually separate them from there. So for example, here I want to separate the name of the movie from the year. So what I'm going to do, there is a features inside Power BI that actually use the natural language processing to detect that one. So I'm going to use a column from example. And this feature is actually, I'm able to, for example, teach that I'm looking for 894, and it's going to detect the rest of them. So besides doing any kind of any changes to the data, any split, and the other is going to learn from that. Or for example, I can do the same thing for the name. The name is a bit high. I prefer I didn't. So it's a Edison. So is actually by providing just the first part of the data is able to actually extract the rest. This is one of the features that behind the scene is using actually some AI and natural language processing to find out what is the rest should be, and is really helpful for cleaning the data. So you see that even inside that is used lots of features for that scenario. So another thing that is really interesting one that actually can be really useful, I'm going to bring the very famous data set that is Titanic data set over here. So you're able to actually call, so from your Azure ML, let me open my here. So you can create any data model, any Azure ML or web service inside Azure ML or other platform. If you get a web service out of them, you can call them inside Power BI. You can call them if you have a premium account, you can use that. Even you don't have a premium account, still you can do that. I can show you the way how to doing that. So here I've already created a web service out of my model. That's a simple classification model that I create out of that. So I created data, the actually web service out of that over here. When I create that one, so I'm actually connecting my Power BI subscription that is premium with my actually Azure ML one. So they know each other and they can talk to each other. After that, because my Power BI is a premium one. If I click on the Azure ML machine learning, and if I wait, so it's going to connect and bring that model that I have over there. So I already create a machine learning model inside my Azure ML, and here I'm able to call it. So as you can see, is able to be call it over here, and because my data set is the same, so it's able to detect that one. And I'm going to use it. So I create a machine learning model inside Azure ML, and here I call it. I prefer this approach rather than writing the R and Python over there for the machine learning. I will talk about that. The good thing is that actually, so you already create some models over there. You have more packages and more flexibility to create your model, and you just apply it on your data over here, like this one. So it's actually provide the result for me over there. If I use the R and Python over here, first of all, it's become a bit more slow. I mean that, yes, it's good. We have the option of the R and Python over here, and we can use them, but it's at the same time, it's become a bit slow. And also we have a few access to the packages and everything. I will show a demo on that also, but I prefer this approach. So this has happened for people who have premium or premium per person or the premium account over there. If you don't have it, it still is possible to doing that. So what you need to do, actually, let me open a new code over there. Also, let me share the link to the blog post over there. So what we do actually, we need to create a actually a new query over there. So that actually in this query, let me copy and paste the code over here. So what we do actually, we use the function in Power Query name web.content. And for example, here in my Azure ML, if I back to that, here, for example, for this one, for example, when you're going to actually consume it, it gives you a data endpoint. So you can use that one instead of that URL. If you have an API key that actually, again, you can use that one. I don't have for this one, but if you have, you can use it over there. And then after that, you actually, the rest is very simple. So you can use the content type is application JSON. And of course, we provide a sample of the data that we want. So I want the data that I'm going to apply passenger class, gender, and age of the people. And from that, actually, you can call a function JSON.document and then convert it. So this is another way of doing that without having a kind of having a premium account, and you can do that. So I already have a blog post on that. So because it's become a bit different topics of Power Query, so I'm not going through that, but please check this one. I already write everything about how you can actually do that. So in this scenario, you already create your own Power BI thing, and you don't need to pay for the premium one. Of course, you need to pay for the Azure ML in both scenario, but at least here you don't need to pay for the premium account. And if you can call the same things, then actually you can call other API maybe you have in other platform, and you create a web service. So again, in the same process, you can bring it and call it over here. So it's not just limited to that one. So that's a kind of the scenario we have over there. I'm going to actually talk about another thing that we have over here. So let me bring a data set that I have over here from recent source. I have a sales data set that I have. So I'm going to bring that one over there. So you know that it's still Power Query and Power BI, they have lots of features, but sometimes we want to do something that is not supported here, like writing back to the data source or writing back to there. We don't have that feature in Power BI. But actually you can help R or Python to doing that. So it's not R or Python, it's not just for machine learning. So I have a data set over here. I'll just make it a bit smaller. So I'm just going to keep top 800 rows to make it faster for now. And I'm going to write back this data set to my SQL environment. So to do that, I'm going to use the kind of the library in R named RODBC. So this actually is a library that before I'm kind of doing things, I make sure that I have it in my R packages. And of course, before that, I should make sure that here my so here under the file and option, on the options part, I just want to make sure that my R scripting is connected to proper R version. So if I install something over there, is actually connected here. So after that, I make sure now I'm going to use some R code to doing that. So first of all, in the R, we have a function named ODBC driver content. So this actually get your connection string. That's what is the SQL server, what is your database, and the other one. So I have a database that is AI, and I don't have any connection, I mean the password on things. And then there is a function in R named SQL save that get the connection string from you, get the data set that you want to store into SQL, and of course get the table name you want. So I just call it to be sale, and I don't want to append it with other data. So I'm going to just copy this code, and I'm back to my Power Query. On the Transform tab, I have a run R script. So I'm going to paste the code over here. So just a couple of things. So everything, if I select any data set, everything will be held on a variable named data set. So all of my sales data will be stored over here. And then as you can see, I provide the connection string and everything over there. And if I click OK, it's going to actually get my data. It doesn't show anything over here, but when I go on the database, under the tables, let me a bit refresh it. So I should see the new sales data over here. So this is the approach that if some of my customer ask me about that, hey, I want to write back through that, and this is one of the approach. There are many tools, there are lots of tools, third-party things that actually help you through that, but this is the one of the things you can use it. So you can see that we actually, with the code and no code, we have lots of option of the calling the R things over there. So let me also bring the kind of the another data that I have over there. So in the last part, we are going to look at the kind of some of the cognitive services, some of the pre-built AI that they use for the text analysis, sentiment analysis, and the other functions. So one of the kind of the things that we are going to use, so let me bring a proper data set for that. The name was hotel, I believe. We have a hotel review that is actually I'm going to use. So let me show you the data first. Just going to bring it here. So copy that. Oops. hope my data doesn't work. Let me get the data. So file. Okay, so this is a data set that I have. So it's just a hotel reviews that people put comments about the hotel. Is a hotel good or not? So I'm just going to keep the date and the guest comments. I don't need to other ones, so I just remove other columns. So as you can see, for example, I received some comments about the hotel features. So as you can see over here, that I wasn't made aware of the daily extra happen, or some other example over there. So here we have a text analytics over there that actually help us to do the analysis. I'm just going to connect through there. So it's using again the premium features of the Power BI, and again there is a way that actually you could skip that one and use your own things, but I will show you how to doing that. Just wait till it's connect. At the same time, let me show you when it's loading. So it's actually using a service named Cognitive Service through that. So Cognitive Service is a website that actually has lots of pre-built AI features, and you can use that one. So when you have a premium features, is already macro, you already pay for that Cognitive Service over there. But if you don't have it, you have to create one, and then again, same as the Azure ML one, you're able to call the code using Power Query. I'm going to actually send the link to this material, so if you're interested, you can go through that one. Let me see, it's take a bit long to sign in. Sometimes it's a bit tricky. I hope that is showing, so I can show that one to you. Doesn't allow me to sign in. I think that's a connection problem I have. Oh, let me. Yep, that's it. I have some problem with the sign in. I think. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe because I already connect to Azure ML, but I don't know what doesn't load. But it actually is connected to there and shows you that how you can do the text analytics over there. I already shared the links about the if you don't want this feature and you want to have that one over there. So if I want to kind of provide the overview of what we have. So as you can see, we have different features from AI visuals to writing the code to calling some of the features from the Power BI, and actually some embedded features over there. Is not limited to that. We have some else like Q&A visual that actually use the NLP one. One of the sad things about here is that Microsoft, I think, is a slow rate on working on the AI features over there. I mean, recently in last year, we didn't see that much update on that. And I hope so that in future we see more, because this is a place that's for data. So why we couldn't do the analytics over there? So that's a comments that every time we see one of the people from these teams, we actually ask them. I hope that in future they have more connection. Mostly for running R and Python, we have some problems of doing that. One of the big problems is that when you create a visual in R or Python, in the visualization or in the Power Query, it's not going to publish to the organizational gateway. So you're just able to share it as a personal gateway. And to be honest, most of our projects that we have, it should be in an organizational gateway. So it's a very huge limitation. I understand that because they said it's a open source and can impact as a security problem through that. But that's if they can solve that problem. So that's become one of the really good area, because we have a good editor for Power Query for data cleaning, and now we have AI features to work with that, which is kind of the very important one. So this is a very kind of the brief overview of the AI features that we have in Power BI, but it's not limited to that. If you have a question about that, if you're using any of them, you're welcome to email me, or my Twitter handle is actually I welcome to ask me any question, and of course other ones. Yeah, and as you can see, Andre also sends the kind of the updates on the current donation happened. It's really great that the community support this. We really need that, and this is kind of one of the things that we actually provide through that one. So any question? I didn't answer a question. Let me back up to see. Any other questions? So there's an idea that good idea to combine the composition tree with key influencer. Yes, I can say yes, that can be really nice idea. So let me also back to the visual that I have. So I'm going to shows you that one. Let me start changes so you can see that. Power BI is a bit funny. So here I'm going to use so it's the same process. So I mean that we are going to analyze the rating, and also we are going to analyze the ticket counts based on that. And oh, sorry, the decomposition tree. So let me vice versa. I want to be explained there. Not the best things to use. This is count of the rating. Let me, for example, I want to check that the ticket counts, how ticket counts actually impact through that one, the average ticket counts explained by number of the people who is there, and there, for example, company size. So as you actually see, is kind of more numerical over there. So here you can specify that I just want to see the decomposition of the average ticket count by the company size. This is no AI features through that. So it just shows that, for example, if people are from the company less than 5,000 people, how many of them actually, how many tickets they have, if they are greater than or is between that. So this is a one. But in the other scenarios, if I just close that one, I want to actually see the impact, like the one that we have in key influencer visual. If I want to see the highest impact, so it's going to find tenure or the how many months they are with us. So it actually shows the distribution like this for us. That's how's the average ticket counts for each group. For example, people who stay for 60, 53. It's better to be a categorical when we analyzing that. That provide us a better kind of the result. But it's actually it's combination of the, as you mentioned, combination of the key influencer and the other one. Any other questions about that?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, here is one question on my side.
Sure.
So the question is about AI in Power BI data flows. So if you have the premium license, so you are able to do some data science at the data flow layer.
Yes.
So what are the capabilities of that, and what does it mean in the context of the license? So how
So,
limited are you there?
mhm.
So
Actually, the one that you see in data flow is actually use the Azure ML one. So it's actually using these services over there. So it's the automated ML that we have over there. About the licensing is actually using the premium one. So the same that you have actually over here on the transform data. So for both of them, you need to have a kind of you need to have the kind of the premium account to connect that. So in the data flow also, we have the option to do the machine learning over there. That's actually using the automated ML that we have over here. That means that automated ML, that means that is going to call different algorithm with different parameters, and is going to, about the licensing, because you have already a premium account, so it's going to use that one. But if you're using your own, so you you need to pay for Azure ML and also the premium account. One of the problem of the using the data flow automated ML over there is that you don't have access to change any parameter. It's just a very business user interface. So you even here, for example, if I create something in automated ML, I'm able to change what algorithm I'm going to use, but there you don't have access to that one.
yes, thank you. Thank you. And looks like we are out of questions. 1 second. Right. Yep. We are out of questions. So Leila, thank you for that great session. Andre, you have a question?
So yes, so I can ask some things. So I'm always very focused on machine learning and cognitive services. In real world experience, and this is interesting because I've used them a lot. I would like your feedback on using cognitive services. What is best? Do you prefer to use the premium options and have things like computer vision, Azure machine learning, etc., built in using the premium options, or do you usually use the Python option to actually do it with code and connect to the cognitive services directly because it is much cheaper? So what has been typical, in a professional environment?
So actually there's three approach. One is to use that built-in one. Another one is, as you mentioned, writing some Python code. Another one is actually, again, use the cognitive service one that I shows over here. I shared the link through that one. That is, let me show you. It's not this one. Yeah, no. Sorry, just want to find the cognitive service one. Another one is using Power Query. So three approach through that one. So definitely, if you just want to limit it to the kind of sentiment analysis, keyword extraction, and you don't want to involve with a kind of any coding things, so definitely it's limited capability, just support the sentiment and the language detection and the keyword extraction, so you can use the premium. But to be honest, if you want more kind of the features about sentiment analysis or other things that we have in the text analytics, that not all of them support here, so it's better to use the R or Python coding inside that, or maybe as I shows over here on another example, you can create something out of over there in Azure ML or Databricks and then bring it over here. The one that I shows about the Power Query is the time that there are some of the services that not exist into the Power Query, like for example, what I have, there is a I have a time series anomaly detection in Power BI. So that's another one that we don't have it in Power query. We just have it in that visual that I showed to you. So that's one of the examples that we can actually call that cognitive services inside here using the Power Query. So if I want to show you, yep, so that's a code again, using the Power Query to call that one inside over there. So it depends. To be honest, for me, I'm not a kind of doing the text analytics or image analysis using Python that much. For me, I prefer to use the pre-built one. But if you have someone that's really expert in image processing, text analytics, and the algorithm can works better than pre-built one, so I recommend to use the pre-built one. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Leila, could you please share the link from the Zoom chat? Not the last one, but the one from me. So since you are sharing your screen, I guess it's technically simple on your side.
So what should I do? Sorry.
Yeah, just open the link from the chat.
Oh, this one. Yep,
Yeah.
is it this one? So this is the one. So this is the for anomaly detection, for example. This is a link that I just shared in the chat.
Yeah, I mean this one, this last one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
I
these are amazing numbers. So this amounts to something like almost 2,200 euros for this initiative. So this is a very, very good number, and you are still in time to contribute. So anyone still has the address and still in time to contribute.
Yep.
So as a question, after this event, people can continue to contribute.
Yes, right. So we are open to the donations for the next few weeks. So I will keep you posted on our official pages in LinkedIn and Facebook. So, and the number converted to dollars or euros depend on the way how the transaction is done. So whether it is cash or non-cash, since the currency rate is different based on the way how the transaction is done. So anyway, the number is really high, but if we have the goal for the copter, it means we need a bit like less than that price. So that price has to be almost doubled, a bit less than the half, right? So so we are going to keep the donation open. So feel free to donate. You can see the donation links and the progress.
Where is the donation link? Is it this one or how should?
No, it's in the description of every session, which is in LinkedIn or
okay.
YouTube. And so we're trying to keep it visible for everyone. So like there are two different pages for progress and for the direct donation. So thank you everyone for coming today. Leila, it was a great session. It's the wonderful closure of the conference marathon. So we spent 3 weeks, 9 speakers talking about AI, business intelligence, about a lot of interesting technical things, and all your support is very important for our country now. We all believe in our victory. Yeah, and your cat, Catalina, as well. Yeah.
So, the cat say that we are halfway there. Continue to the donation because we need to. We started this to get that equipment for the Marines of Ukraine. So I will say that we are halfway there. Unfortunately, we need just a bit more.
Yeah. Anyway, and by the way, as I mentioned, that there is some rafting session. So we'll keep you posted again on all our pages with the results. The winners will be generated by the random org. So everything is transparent. but the emails will be masked, yeah, according to rules we are living. And thank you for coming. You have a chance to say the last words if anyone is going to.
I would like to say that this marathon is ending, but don't think that our support for Ukraine is ending. We will be there for you until it is needed, until the end of the war, and even later, helping you rebuilding your country.
Thank you, Dejan.
And I would say to please continue the donation. So to be able, Bogdan and to be able to do what they propose to do.
Yeah, and all that was organized by people who are enjoying our sessions as speakers. So Andrea, thank you for writing, everyone as usual for coming. Thank you for everyone spending your time here for an hour or sometimes two. So it was wonderful. And I hope to see you all very soon in Ukraine, free of invaders. And we believe that it will be very soon, and we all live normal, peaceful life.
So Bogdan, thank you very much for organizing all of this and making all of this work. And it's still not over, as Dejan mentioned. We'll continue to help with all of this. So please continue to contribute, and we will be here to help when Ukraine comes out of this nightmare. Everyone here in Europe and in the world, we will be here to help rebuild Ukraine and get back to what was an amazing place that was always very welcoming to me. Also, Leila, thank you very much. You are the last speaker of this crazy marathon. We have some other speakers here, so thank you to all of them as well. And you are coming from the exact opposite side of the world where I am. So just to prove that community is all about not a geographic location, but everyone in the world contributes to help. So you get the last words.
Thank you. Thanks so much. It was I'm really happy. I hope that that's all of the kind of issues gone, and we able have a sequel or Power BI Day in Ukraine soon. So, and I hope that I'm really happy to be part of this community, and thanks so much for invitation. And I really pray for the victory.
Yeah, thank you for your support. By the way, we have a lot of technical user groups in Lviv, in Ukraine at all, Power BI related, data platform related, data science. So you are always welcomed.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye. Have a good evening or day. So Leila, you are as usual from future. So
thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.